What is up, guys? Dzeeff here. Today I have a very exciting sponsored video. So Konami sent me some of the Blue Eyes cards from Battle of Chaos a little bit early because these cards are not released right now, and I had a blast building a Blue Eyes deck with them. What's even cooler though is that right now on the official Yu-Gi-Oh channel on YouTube, they uploaded a duel featuring me playing this deck versus Tombox from MST TV playing Dark Magician. So I'll make sure to link that in the description below. Without further ado though, let's take a look at my Blue Eyes deck featuring the new cards from Battle of Chaos. I will mention here that we were trying to be a little bit more like casual about our duel, so this isn't going to be a super competitive deck profile, but I do think it's a pretty good skeleton for a modern Blue Eyes deck. Let's take a look at what I'm playing. So I have some of the newer monsters here at the start. We are of course playing two copies of the Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. So this is from one of the most iconic anime moments, the Blue Eyes Jet, and I couldn't be more excited to be playing it in my deck right now. I'm playing two copies because while the card does bring itself back pretty much every single turn while it's in the graveyard, I think it's important to play the second copy because I was a little bit worried about like banishing the other one for a Chaos Legionnaire. So I think playing two was pretty cool. This card is great. I mean, it just keeps coming back every single turn. It has like a protection effect for all of your cards, and I think that it's a really nice addition to the Blue Eyes strategy. Next up, we have three copies of Dictator of D. So this is basically the Blue Eyes version of Magician Souls. It special summons itself by sending a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to the graveyard, and then while on the field you can discard either a Blue Eyes White Dragon or a card that specifically mentions it to revive any Blue Eyes monster from your graveyard. This card is insanely good in Blue Eyes, and it's a huge addition to the deck. It opens up all sorts of new combos and really does increase your consistency by quite a lot. So that's why I'm maxing out on that one. We are of course playing three copies of Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon, no surprise there. Three copies of the original LOB Blue Eyes White Dragon. I love this artwork. I know not everyone loves it as much as I do, but it's personally my favorite artwork. Two copies of the Dragon Spirit of White, and one copy of Chaos Dragon Legionnaire, which of course is searchable by Melody of the Awakening Dragon. Notably, in this deck in the past, this card usually was only being summoned with light monsters, which is obviously very good. You get that Monster Reborn effect, but now that we have the Dictator of D, that is actually a dark monster, so you can banish that one to get the popping effect with Legionnaire. Next up, we have some level 1 monsters, so three copies of Sage, three copies of the White Stone of Ancients, and one copy of the White Stone of Legend. Next up, for the spell cards, we have three copies of Ultimate Fusion. So this is a new card from Battle of Chaos, and this thing is ridiculous. So it's a fusion spell, but it's a quick play, which is really nice, and you can activate it during either player's main phase. How it works is that you can fusion summon a monster from your extra deck that specifically lists either Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon as its material. From there, you can shuffle back the material for whatever fusion monster you're trying to bring out from your hand, field, or graveyard into your deck, and then you perform the fusion summon. That's already really good. It recycles resources, it summons fusion monsters, but where this card gets really silly is that on resolution, without targeting, you get to pop a face-up card your opponent controls if you want to, up to the number of Blue Eyes White Dragons that you shuffled back into the deck from your field. So a lot of the times you're only popping one, but it's not too hard to pop two, but just in general, it's a really good like bonus effect on an already good fusion spell card. Next up, we have three copies of the Melody of Awakening Dragon, one of the best searcher cards in the deck, three copies of Trade-In, you have so many level 8 monsters, one copy of Cards of Consonance, pretty good card, three copies of Return of the Dragon Lords, and one copy of Monster Reborn. So these cards are super valuable in a Blue Eyes deck specifically. You want to just keep throwing big dragons at your opponent, and these cards let you do that. And they really combo nicely with the Dictator of D, which does fill your graveyard, which also can fill your graveyard for Ultimate Fusion, which is really nice. Basically, what you're trying to do is throw as many extra deck monsters at your opponent by summoning a bunch of big dragons, and then at the very end, you use Ultimate Fusion to shuffle a bunch of cards back and summon one big fusion monster. We also have one copy of Dragon Shrine and one copy of Foolish Burial. Dragon Shrine is honestly a little bit better than Foolish in this deck because you're always trying to mill dragons anyway, but it is a hard once per turn, so I opted to go with Foolish and Dragon Shrine instead of just two copies of Dragon Shrine because this was a little bit less bricky. Finally, the last card in the deck at the moment is three copies of Cosmic Cyclone. This card is just a good removal for hitting like really good back row cards, so I like it a lot. You could also play Twin Twisters. I did consider that as well because you do have a lot of cards that you want in the graveyard, but I do kind of like that Cosmic banishes instead of destroys. For the extra deck here, we have two copies of of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, and then for the cards that you can summon off of this, we have 2 copies of Azure Eyes Silver Dragon, although you could theoretically summon this normally as well, 1 copy of Black Rose Moonlight Dragon to bounce a card your opponent controls, and 1 copy of Michael the Arch Lightsworn. We also have 1 copy of Vermilion Dragon Mech, a very good level 9 synchro that you can make in Blue Eyes fairly easily. For the fusion monsters, and I will mention here that I probably should have played Twin Burst Dragon, but I was in this duel playing 2 copies of the brand new Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon and 1 copy of Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon. So Tyrant Dragon's really cool, and the reason that I played this card is that you can actually summon it with Blue Eyes White Dragon plus any dragon monster, so it's very generic, and you can summon it with the new fusion spell, obviously, and then this thing can actually attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. It's kind of like an ultimate Conductor Tyranno, and it's unaffected by trap effects, which is really cool. So this card's really good. I wanted to try it out, but I think in hindsight, I probably would have played 1 copy of this and 1 copy of Twin Burst. The Twin Burst banish can come up every once in a while. For the Link monsters, we played 1 copy of Link Kribo, 1 copy of Link Spider, which can come up, and 1 copy of Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Really good for getting rid of monsters that you normally would have a tough time dealing with. Finally, for the Xyz monsters, I was playing 1 copy of Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand and 1 copy of Dingirsu. Once again here, really good removal option and just a good generic all-around rank 8 with the Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand. Dingirsu is also pretty cool because while it's on the board, it will protect your cards from being destroyed a couple times. Overall, this is a very good skeleton for the new Battle of Chaos Blue Eyes deck, in my opinion, and I had a lot of fun dueling against Tombox on the official Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Make sure to go check that out if you have not seen it already. I will make sure to link it in the description of today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this showcase of the new Blue Eyes cards. I'll see you later though. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.